The Galactic Military Academy on Zentera Prime had trained warriors from 300 species over the past millennium. Its combat simulation chambers utilized the most advanced technology in known space, adaptive AI opponents, real-time tactical analysis, and holographic environments indistinguishable from reality. Victory required mastery of modern warfare, energy weapons, drone coordination, electronic countermeasures, and algorithmic combat prediction. Instructor Velcross, a decorated Tharnian veteran with 4 arms and a lifetime of military excellence, watched his latest class file into the observation deck. 47 students from across the galaxy, all eager to prove themselves against the simulation's legendary difficulty. The pass rate was barely 30%. Today, Velcross announced, his translated voice resonating through the chamber, "You will witness Cadet Marcus Reeves attempt the Crucible scenario. He is our first human participant." Curious murmurs rippled through the class. Humans were still newcomers to the galactic community, their admission to the Academy controversial. Many questioned whether Deathworlders, species from high-gravity, hostile planets, could adapt to civilized warfare. Marcus entered the simulation chamber, and the class leaned forward. He wore standard-issue combat armor but carried no plasma rifle, no drone controller, no tactical overlay visor. Instead, he held what appeared to be an antique kinetic weapon, a ballistic firearm that humans called a rifle, and had a primitive blade strapped to his leg. Instructor, a plenary student pulsed with confusion, is the human unaware of the equipment options? Those weapons are 3 centuries obsolete by human standards, let alone galactic ones. Velcross's mandibles clicked with what might have been amusement. Cadet Reeves specifically requested those loadouts. I approved. Begin simulation. The scenario materialized, an urban warfare environment with hostile AI-controlled combat drones, automated turrets, and tactical barriers. The objective was simple: reach the extraction point while neutralizing threats. Most cadets relied on electronic warfare to hack the drones, energy shields to deflect turret fire, and coordinated drone strikes to clear paths. Marcus did something none of them expected. He turned off his armor's electronic signature and went dark. "He's invisible to the enemy sensors," a Creche cadet exclaimed. "But he's also blind to tactical data. How will he navigate?" Marcus moved through the simulated city like a ghost, his movements deliberate and economical. When the first combat drone appeared, students expected him to be shredded by its plasma fire. Instead, Marcus pressed himself flat against a wall, a position the drone's tracking algorithm dismissed as non-threatening, and waited. The drone passed within 2 meters. Marcus stepped out and fired 3 precise shots from his primitive rifle. The kinetic rounds, moving far slower than energy weapons and generating no electromagnetic signature, struck the drone's sensors before its countermeasures could react. The drone dropped. "Kinetic weapons against modern sensors," Velcross narrated. "The AI is trained to track and intercept energy signatures and guided projectiles. Simple ballistic rounds barely register as threats until impact." Marcus reached an intersection controlled by automated turrets. The class expected him to retreat or attempt to hack them. Instead, he pulled something from his pack, a reflective sheet of material. "What is that archaic equipment?" someone asked. "A mirror," Velcross replied. "Pre-electronic technology for reflecting light." Marcus angled the mirror around the corner. The turrets, programmed to fire at movement and heat signatures, tracked the reflection. He used the brief window to roll across the intersection, moving too fast and too low for the turret's targeting parameters to acquire him properly. "He's exploiting the AI's response time," a Valerian student observed with growing respect. "Modern systems are incredibly fast, but they still require recognition, classification, and targeting sequences. He's moving in their blind spots." The final challenge was a squad of 6 combat drones in coordinated formation, a scenario that typically required heavy firepower or electronic warfare to overcome. Marcus assessed the situation, then did something that made the entire class gasp. He threw his rifle on the ground in the open and hid. He surrendered, a student protested. Watch, Velcross commanded. The drones converged on the rifle, identifying it as a weapon threat. As they surrounded it, analyzing the primitive technology, Marcus emerged from cover with his blade drawn. He moved with explosive speed, driving the knife into each drone's central processing unit, a vulnerability that modern AI combatants assumed would never be exploited because no one fought in melee range anymore. In 15 seconds, all 6 drones were disabled. Marcus reached the extraction point with 0 ammunition expended except for the 3 rounds at the beginning. His time was the fastest in the Academy's history. The observation deck was silent. Velcross let the moment breathe before speaking. What you witnessed was something we've forgotten in 10,000 years of technological warfare. Humans call it asymmetric combat, using techniques so primitive, so unexpected, that advanced systems have no protocols for them. A Tharnian cadet raised an appendage. But instructor, why would we train in obsolete methods? Marcus's voice crackled through the comm system. Because AI learns from data, and all your combat data is modern. My techniques are thousands of years old: spearfighting tactics, ambush predator instincts, hunter-gatherer patience. The simulation had no reference for them because your civilizations evolved past physical combat before you reached space. Velcross's mandibles spread in approval. Humans remained brutal hand-to-hand fighters even as they developed advanced technology. They never forgot how to kill with their bare hands because their planet never let them forget. This is the Deathworlder advantage: they understand both primitive survival and modern warfare. The class was dismissed, but students lingered, watching recordings of Marcus's run. The human had defeated cutting-edge technology with tactics that predated electricity. It wasn't just impressive, it was terrifying. One student asked the question they were all thinking: what happens when humans combine their ancient combat instincts with our modern weapons? Velcross's expression was unreadable. Then pray you're on their side.